Hello, my darlings. Have you missed me? I have, and I have prepared a really powerful video for you. So now we are working on the money channel. So have you heard about this, that men like sex on demand, but women, and this is my saying, women like pleasure on demand. What does that mean and why? How does this work and why is this related to money? Because money is such a potent and powerful subject. I have been preparing for this part of the retreat for about 2 years, intensely preparing. Like, I have been studying the subject matter for years and years and working on myself for years and years in this financial alchemy aspect. But the last 2 years, I zoomed in to get all the pieces together, and I was blown away how complex this subject really is. Because behind money is an excuse not to live our full potential, not to be fully present and self-actualized and self-realized. The excuses we have: I don't have the money, I will do it later, I will save, blah, 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 blah. And so money is a really powerful key element in all the decisions that we make in life. So, recently I have seen this saying that most people don't want to be rich. They just want to have enough money so they don't worry about life, about survival, about getting what they want, not to worry about money anymore. But it doesn't work that way, does it? You can't, run away from love. You can't run away from your sexual power, and you can't run away from responsibility for making, creating, and loving money. I mean, this is my assertion. This is my discovery, the fruits of my years of working on myself. And so yesterday I spent the whole day writing down notes, and I came up to 9 pages with a ton of exercises. And a year ago, I did this for the Russian group because I have an international school of love. And we worked on the money channel, and we had about 60 women on it. And it lasted 3 hours. And live, we were working on Zoom. And it was so transformative, so powerful. So the field was so alive that I'm super excited to do it this year, because in English, because now I am much more powerful and I have enriched the exercises and the processes that we work with the Russian group over this last year has enriched and became more potent for me. So I am so excited for this. Tomorrow we are starting our live Queen Retreat, the first ever. This is our Queen's Club founders. Everybody who joined us this year, 2024, is going to join the Queen's Club, the founders of it, like the golden members basically of the club, and you're getting $4,000 worth of gifts and in savings. So up until the end of this year, every single one of you has a chance to join the Queen Retreat and the Queen's Club, so that the 2025 is extraordinary for you. Okay, so now let's get down to money, shall we? Okay. So, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, queens like pleasure on demand and men like sex on demand. So let's talk about this. The men function differently. The way the men are set up is, they work super, super hard. They use their logical brain, and then they turn it off. And when they turn it off, they completely shut down and relax. And now they want pleasure. And they're very easy to please. Food, massage, sex, anything and they're using sex to release the pressures that they have building up in their upper head. They need to release it through their lower head. And so remember when Bill Clinton, had this scandal about Monica Lewinsky, and he would say, I didn't have sex with her. They turned out to be that they had only oral sex, blah, blah, blah. And so I remember I was talking to this really wealthy American woman. We were sitting in a Rancho Santa Fe club in San Diego, and she was so hurt about it. She was so strong in her language. Like, I was like, Hillary Clinton doesn't really have feminine energy. She is a very powerful, very smart, very admirable woman, actually, with really strong queen codes. But she's very masculine. And he is a man, has so much pressure in his head, so much responsibility on his shoulders. So when once in a while he just needs, not just once, he needs to release this pressure. And he wants sex on demand like every man. And she's like, well, for the 4 years he's in office, he can keep his dick in his pants. And I was laughing, and at that time, I felt that I don't agree with her. But I didn't know why this is not something that I'm in agreement with, because it violates the basic natural rules of men and women, like as animals and as spiritual beings and as human beings. Those are different aspects of ourselves, and every part of ourselves has certain needs, not just desires, literal needs. And so the way the men function is, sex for him is the highest pleasure, because it releases the pressure in his head and it recharges him. So imagine you're a president of your own company or your household. Now imagine, put yourself in the shoes of the president of America, of the whole country, right? So it's like a lot more responsibilities. So imagine now the human being as being a a car. So here is a man with a really potent engine, has 12 cylinders in his car, and the gas is out. At the end of the day, he's so tired, he feels like a car empty on gas, empty on energy. Where does he plug in and recharge himself energetically? Is the woman. He needs to get this energy from her womb, because the woman generates the energy and she can hold it in her womb. But a man doesn't have a womb. He doesn't have a reservoir to recharge. They work differently. As I said, they give themselves completely. They're super tired. The head is turned off. He needs to relax and he wants to enjoy, and he needs sex on demand. In as much as powerful his engines are, basically, whatever the level he is, he needs to be matched at that level. And so imagine, the president of the country is this powerful car. At the end of the day, comes home and he has no more gas to drive his car. And his wife, who is also working, or, and when I say his wife, I mean now you think about yourself as a woman. Whether you are a working woman, a business woman, or you're a stay-at-home mom, or you're just at home, exercising a lot because you're young, you're not a mom yet, you're not working yet, you're just making a beautiful space for your husband. You get tired in the evening, don't you? especially if you're not anymore in your 20s, 25, 28, like after 30, after 40, after 50, after 60, the woman doesn't have as much gasoline in her. She doesn't have as much sexual potency in her because she's also spending it on other important areas in her life. So here he comes at the end. Imagine you're a man in a car and you're driving to a gas station to put some gas into your car. You want it fast. You don't care how much it costs if you have money. If you don't have money, you want it cheap. But you want as much gasoline as your engine or I don't know how they call it in English. You know, the container that can hold gas in it, like as much as you have the potential for it. You want basically your battery 100% recharged, so that in the morning he can get out there and again conquer the world. The man recharges his batteries through the sex with his wife or with a woman. And so imagine he comes to a gas station, or you're driving a car, you come to a gas station and it says closed for business. What are you going to do? You're going to look for another gas station that is open for business, right? And so that was important for me to really understand why men need a prostitute or a lover. Is they cannot function without sex. If his wife is not able to provide it for him, you know, he's going to get a heart attack, another problem, get sick, get aggressive, get angry, kill someone or something like that. Like, it's gonna affect and create a havoc in his system if he doesn't have an opportunity to release himself of the pressure and to recharge himself with pleasure. So that was super important for me to, through all my studies about sexuality, to understand how the man works. So now let's look into the woman. How does a woman work? A woman needs pleasure. She needs to feel exciting, and when she's like water, she needs to be boiled and it takes time for her to warm up, but she needs a lot of dopamine. And so what do women do if we don't get it in bed? If you as a woman at the end of the day are tired, or you're insecure, or you're exhausted after running your kids and so forth, and you lay in bed, what does your body want and need? You want to be slowly caressed. You want to be enjoyed. You want to hear beautiful words. I love you. You're beautiful. You want to refill yourself, you know, through feeling good and feeling the pleasure. And then your womb generates this energy and you are open and ready to give the sexual energy to your man, to your husband, to your beloved. And so here we have this problem. He needs sex on demand and you need pleasure. And so what women do is they substitute the pleasure that they don't get enough in bed. They get it through food, because it's fastest and easiest to get dopamine going in your brain, and through sweets, through chocolate. We go shopping because that creates dopamine. So we go traveling, we buy something special, we go to a spa, we meet with a girlfriend, we brag about our diamonds. I have right now my 4 carats worth of diamonds here. I have my 7-carat emerald here. So I am stocked. I feel amazing. And when I was putting my diamond rings on and my jewelry on, I already started feeling like I'm charging up. When I do use my perfumes, my special precious oils, and I smell, right before every session, I go for jasmine because it's most potent. Throughout the sessions when I break up in a video, I use the rose oil and the magnolia oils to soothe me and enrich me. So we have very many ways to recharge ourselves. I can't like pump my husband up by saying, here, honey, smell some jasmine. Wake up, feel better. He's sitting behind the camera smiling. I don't think that would work for him. But I do know how to quickly excite and recharge him whenever, and reward him whenever necessary. So, okay, so this is like a little beginning that I wanted for you to share. So, as women, that's why we need money. That's why we love money, because we need many sources of recharging, because in sex, usually we are giving away energy. We think that, like, if I meet a really potent, powerful man, we think that we get energy from him. No, he just activates and stimulates our internal hormone production. So when we're sharing, that's the way a woman is designed, is when we're giving love, like we become alive, awake, and ignited. And so we're always waiting for the one who will activate this internal, engine of love in us. I call it, when a woman opens up, I mean when she's fully open in her sexual, sensual, and divine essence. When that happens, it's like, whew, life is incredible. So, to be able to feel all of that, like a little bit of advertisement here for you. The programs Womb Healing, the 4 Elements, and 7 Magnificent Meditations. So those 3 programs help you to open up as a woman. So this is what I've created about 10 years ago, and this is what has been recharging me up and giving me juice and power. And now I'm taking you to the next level of evolution together with me, into the Wholeness Retreat and into the Queen Retreat. Life is so amazing. It is exciting. Welcome to I Am Queen. I am a sexual goddess online retreat. Connect and open up to the excitement and juiciness that is inside of you, that is inside of our Queen's Club. Dance with your own power of sexuality. Open up fully to your desires and enjoy creating the best life that you want, that you desire, and you deserve. You deserve this. Welcome to I Am Queen Online Retreat with me, Yana Good, your guide into pleasure, wisdom, and love. All the details at yanagood.com. So, now let's get back to money. Money, honey. So, let's talk about money, honey. What work have I done specifically and that really helped me to realize, heal, and work on my money channel? Before I called the money as, I examined the issue of money as a money magnet. And so I approached it from the concept of the sexual power. So that's why we have the Sexual Goddess Retreat, is because the money magnet activates when we're in abundance, when we're orgasmic, when we are overflowing with sexual energy. So that's why if you're right now going through the Queen Retreat, you have 10 sessions of the Sexual Goddess that helps you to raise your potency, your sexual potency, so that you can activate your money magnet. You activate your sexual magnet, and that is going to be the fuel for the money magnet. So it's like the money magnet is the engine, and the sexual energy is the gasoline for the engine to work. Okay. Then I have looked into money as a funnel, as this really powerful vortex, and it depends how powerfully we can open up our vortex and to receive, the abundance. Like, how much can we actually receive? So the money is at the bottom of the funnel, so that's the attraction power. And the vortex is about self-worth. And it's like, how much can I open up in my self-worth, in my sexual competence and confidence, and raise and open up myself as a channel to receive money. So that was a really powerful process that these last 2 years I was working on this funnel. And I realized that what creates this funnel, the big or the small, it depends from the limiting programs that we have. It depends from the family programs, and it depends from the archetypes. The archetypes that are being fed these programs are programming an archetype within us, a sub personality that keeps running on this program. And so like a small file finally becomes a big program, and then it gathers its own identity, and that part of us is dealing with the money. So that was interesting. I was like, wow, that's interesting. And then I want to mention a couple of like books and teachers that out of like a ton that I studied, I want to zoom in just on those three aspects because they were most powerful influencers for me. So most of you probably are familiar with Christy Sheldon. She does the clearing of the she does clearing abundance blocks and so forth. So I remember I did the work with her, and she had a ton of programs that she was canceling, this program, canceling that. And that raised my awareness about this funnel being built with so many negative programs. Did it work for me? No, nothing really changed in my economic growth after the work I've done with her. But what it did, it raised my conscious awareness about all these programs, and I was able to look into and cancel, really like clean my house internally to see, oh no, I have this program. Do I need it? No, it doesn't serve me anymore. So I did her process of canceling and so forth, but it didn't work. I didn't know why. Like, not didn't work, it wasn't as effective. Like, it did like 10% of the work, for example, right? Or maybe 20%. So then I worked with Financial Alchemy with Morgana Ryan, studied her book, listened a lot of her audios and so forth. And so what she brought to my attention is that we have to personify money and make it into an actually intimate and sexual relationship with money. And I thought, oh, this is a brilliant concept. And so, in her works, we're going to do these exercises with you at the Queen Retreat. But she differentiates between money monster and money honey. And so when I was working through her system, a lot of great revolutionary concepts cleared up in me. However, it wasn't sitting well with me, creating a money honey, because I love my husband and I didn't want to have an intimate sexual relationship with creating an imaginary persona, money honey, which I know it all works because it's all egregores, it's energy, thought forms we created, and then it's charged. There is magic behind it all. It works. I don't question that. But the problem with that I was having, it wasn't sitting well into my system of self-worth and dignity and the way I see the world and my spiritual beliefs. It's just that system wasn't really clicking fully in. So I was like, oh, okay, so that helped a little bit with my money funnel. And then the most powerful, I think, process I received is when I was building my network marketing business. And most of you know that, from 30 to 35, I built no, 30 to 33, I think, I built a $5 million business with Caravan International. And so I remember when I just first started working with this company, I went to a conference for that all the speakers were self-made millionaires in network marketing companies, and then they became trainers and coaches and teachers for the rest of us. And so mostly I was impressed with a woman that was in Mary Kay and her story. I'm going to tell you her story because it's very powerful. She was talking to her mom, and she said, it's been many, many years. I don't remember now, 7 years or 10 years. She was working in this Mary Kay company. And she goes, I'm so good. I'm so dedicated. I give it my all. But like I hit a glass ceiling and I cannot break through $45,000 a year is in residual income. It's the most I can make. And so her mother said, interesting, that's how much your daddy used to make. And that was her break point. That where she just like, she started writing and meditating. And because I talked to her after the presentation, I came to her, I said, how did you do this? Like what work did you do? Did you read books? Like what? Like I like to learn from successful people because success leaves clues. So I don't go trying to figure out things. If I can get the codes of success from people that already have figured it out. And then if I cannot find it, then I start working and meditating and calling my divine self to enlighten me. And then I get them and then I share them with you. But in this particular case, she said, it took me like 5 years. I was writing and meditating a lot and clearing up my limiting beliefs. I was like, okay, got you. So that's what I have been doing as well. But anyhow, after a while, once she figured this out, how she, by being in the archetypes of a daddy's little girl who doesn't want to offend her daddy and make more money than he did, because the program of that time in America, she was elderly when we met, and we met 20 years ago now. Like I'm 56, so I was 31 maybe. So you do the math, like over 20 years ago. And at that time, she was already in her age. She was a mature woman. And so imagine what time she grew up with and what family programs she got from her mom. That is the man that is the head of the household, and the woman cannot make more than men. I don't know if now it changed in America, but for longest time it was like in the workplace, men made 20% more than women. So it's a program, a social program that was imprinted in women that they have to be subservient and lower in their financial capacity than men, which is such a nonsense. Because it's the woman that activates the money magnet in the family. It is through her desires. And she's open to her desires when she feels worthy. And she feels worthy when she's potent in her orgasmicity. She connects to her divine essence of creatrix, of the feminine creative force and power. And from this space, when she's so open and filled up, whatever desires come to her, a better house, a new car, I don't know, I want my husband to become the president of this company, whatever it is she desires gets activated in the universal quantum field. The universe hears, feels this blueprint, this imprint of her desire. And based on the power of her sexuality, based on her actual worth, she gets it as fast or as slow as she feels she deserves. But this is the problem. then the limiting beliefs come in and block it. I was like, wow. So it's a really powerful paradox between healing the victim archetype that is loaded with self loathing, the self hatred, the self limitation, the low self esteem, and fear of one's own sexuality in a healthy manner. I'm not talking about like sleeping with everybody and being easily available. That's not about sexually openness. No, that means neediness and scared to be alone and low self-worth and giving yourself to anybody who wants you. So that's a different subject. I'm not talking about that. Um, yeah. Anyhow, let me gather myself back to the point where I was, that I wanted to focus on. So with her, with this woman, so we were doing this powerful exercise that I want you to do right now. I want you to have your pen and paper out. And it was a millionaires club, and I wanted to become a millionaire because my father was a general director of international hotels in Moscow and top 30 richest people in Moscow of his time. And so I wanted to prove to my daddy that I can be as powerful and successful, and I also can be a millionaire as he was, because I felt rejected and abandoned by him and so forth. And so I was like, I'll prove to you that, I am your daughter. I can be as successful as you can be. And so the exercise she made us do was this, like, write down, I am a millionaire, or whatever amount of money that you want. Like for you, maybe it is I am a billionaire, or like I'm a multimillionaire, or I'm making $100,000 a year, or I'm making, I don't know, $10,000 a month, whatever it is that you want. Don't, I'm just throwing, my journey, but you apply it to yourself. It's not about the amount, it's about the money, your relationship with money. So I wrote down, I am a millionaire. And she said, and then look into why you're not right now a millionaire. What are you lacking? Like, okay, for example, I was like maybe 31 or 32. Aren't there in the world like hundreds, maybe thousands of people that are 31, 32-year old that are millionaires? There are. Why am I not? Like, what is blocking me from receiving, accomplishing, manifesting, earning, whichever way you call it, my desire? And when I went deep into that funnel, I saw, I'm gonna give you the short version of it, that my biggest fear with money was the fear of responsibility. I was like, everything that I was writing, because she said just free writing, whatever comes to your mind, don't slow yourself. And it was like, oh, I would have to set up a corporation. I don't know how to do that. I would have to pay taxes, like a lot of taxes, right? With taxes. And then my mind would go in there and I would bring myself back and like blah, 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 blah. At the end, when I looked and analyzed everything that I wrote on the paper, in one word, I would say, I am afraid of responsibility. That money, a lot of money, means to me a lot of responsibility. I was like, oh my God, I have to grow up. I have to grow up because my relationship with money is still stuck in my childhood. When I connect to the money, substance, personified, non-personified, it is my childhood that is being activated, my child being responding to it, not my adult. So to be able to see that and then go deeply and heal, like, what was my first true trauma about money, about self-worth? And I remembered that when I was a little girl, I woke up at night scared. It was 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock at night. I was super scared because I've heard my mom sobbing. And so, I got out of bed and I looked like what's going on in the family room. And I saw is that my stepfather standing there with calm face, hitting with his foot my mom into her belly. And she's just laying there, crawled, and trying not to cry because she doesn't want me to wake up and get scared. She was just absorbing that in. So I was so scared. I was maybe 3 years old or 4 years old. I was so, so scared. And so for a while I stood there frozen and not knowing what to do. And then I felt fear. And then I crawled back into the bed and I started crying. And when my mom heard me crying, she got up, she stopped him, she picked me up, and we went outside on the street. And that moment when we were walking for hours in the middle of the night in Armenia on empty streets, both of us crying. I remember the program that when I grow up, I will make a ton of money. I will protect my mom. He was hitting at her womb, and until like my mom said until I was 5. So I guess it wasn't when I was 3. I guess it was like a little bit older, maybe 5 years old or something. She said that when I was a little girl, a little baby, I was sleeping on her womb only. I wouldn't fall asleep if I'm not laying on her belly. And so later, when I was healing this issue, I realized is that he was hating her for not giving him the sexual energy. So he was hitting her in the womb, like, give me sex. And mom was super tired. She had a little baby. She was working. She was keeping the house clean. She had a lot of sexual energy, but she's not like an endless battery. She was tired and she didn't want to let him in. So once in a while, he was beating her up and punishing her up for that, as I learned later. But so I'm not blaming him. At that time, of course, I was very angry with him. So I had to do the healing with him and release him into the innocence. I was like, he just wanted sexual energy. I mean, he was working all day long. He was coming at home. He was raising not his child. He was taking responsibilities, and then he wasn't getting any sex because the wife is tired. He was like, what about me? So, but about the money, so that was about my relationship with sex. That's when I understood that as a woman, I have to heal the womb and I have to activate my sexual potency. That if I'm in a relationship, I have to know how to nourish my husband with sex, how to use, how, like, the sexual energy is like money, like I need to budget it out properly. So all aspects of my life are taken care of. And but the money issue was so traumatized for me. That little girl at that time decided that I will never be dependent on men. I will be the one making money. Nobody will ever hurt me, and I will never feel helpless like my mother does, because at the end she had to return into the house. She had nowhere to go, and she had a little child. Where is she gonna go at night? So, and it was in the former Soviet Union, so it's not America, it's not Europe, it's not like you can go and rent a house. Like, it's a different reality. It was truly total helplessness that women were living at that time in. So when I connected to that, I and money relationship is locked into helplessness and a desire to make a lot of money. But it was the child, and the children cannot bear responsibility. Only an adult can take a responsibility. So the relationship with money has to be the adult and the money. It's like sex has to be from a grown-up woman with a grown-up man, not a child and an adult. It's wrong relationship. So I was like, wow, this is brilliant. Are you loving this? Is this revelational? Is this a unique way to look at money? Please right now put a like to this video and say a couple of words just right now. Put this on pause and just, say, wow, this is great. It's interesting, because I'm sure this is a revolutionary way to look at this, especially if you worked a lot on the issue of money. And so wait till we get to the end. This is a really powerful journey. Okay, so for you, I hope you put this on pause and you're writing this down. What amount of money you want to manifest that would make you feel safe and abundant and comfortable in your life. Put that out. I am making this amount of money. And then do this exercise. Do this free flow writing. Why am I not right now making this? Write this question. Why am I not right now making this money? Or why am I not right now not a millionaire? Why am I not right now? And start not thinking at all. Just see what comes out and just keep asking this. Why am I not right now? Why am I not? And just see what comes out. Don't think about it at all. It's a free flow. Let everything come out, because I want you, that's why I shared with you my stories, is because I want you to give yourself permission to really dive into it. Maybe turn on a really beautiful music and just, turn on a candle so you have some fire on, have a cup of water or something, and just really dive deeply. This is your first exercise from this video. I have more, but go deep into it and see what comes up. And then as you meditate on that, trust me, at night you're going to see some dreams. Tomorrow, a few days, this is just activating this process. You're bringing from your subconsciousness into your conscious reality. You are giving your mind a command to search. You're shining your light into the darkness of your subconscious mind, and your subconsciousness is going to pour out pieces and bits. And it might take you some time before all of it comes out to answer that question. And then if you meditate deep into that and look deep into that, you will see these stories like I told you. Like, see, when was that first moment that you can remember that your relationship with money was formed? Because that is what created the programs that you're running right now, that they're nurturing your victim archetype in your relationship with money. Okay, so that's number one. I hope you are doing this. This is on you. Oh yeah, about this lady for the Mary Kay. So once she worked it through, once she found out that her problem was that, being afraid to make more money than her daddy, guess how much money she was making? $75,000 a week. So that's over $3 million a year. Okay, $3,600,000 a year. So that's what network marketing, has a potential to give. And so she had every right to stand up and teach us in the Millionaires Club, because she herself broke through and became a millionaire. And very, very powerful. So after that actually workshop, within a year, I built a $5 million business. That was like so revolutionary for me to just see that it's about responsibility. I'm afraid to be a leader, because how do you make money in network marketing if you have a huge team? How do you have a huge team if you're a leader? And what does a leader do? Takes responsibility. So now let's talk about the responsibility and the programs and the archetypes. Okay. So when I was studying this, I discovered that the victim archetype created its levels and phases that it goes through. And for me, it's easier as a woman to heal if I am putting the programs and the concepts into a central experience. So I create and connect to myself as an archetype, as a being, and then I examine it. So this way I can feel, what do I feel towards this? So look at this flyer. Which archetype is active in your financial and sexual channel? The first level is the beggar, where the beggar archetype is where you're a slave of your fears, you're a slave of your needs, and a slave of your desires, and you're always in lack. That's why you're a slave of them, because you're always lacking. It's never enough. You can never get on top of it. You never can get free. Because what does the word slave mean? You're not free. You are fully dependent on your master to feed you, to supply for you, and so forth. It's like there is zero responsibility. Zero responsibility. So it's like a beggar level. The scenario here that is activated in this archetype is I want, I need, give me, give me, give me, give me something for free, preferably, or cheap. And so take a look. Don't be afraid. I don't care if you're making millions of dollars and watching this right now. Really connect which area of your life you are a beggar. What needs and desires are not met in your life that you're a slave of them? Where are you afraid to take responsibility and stop having a master, a savior, a guru? Like, which area of your life are you really feel enslaved to your fears? Look at it. Second, so if you're doing this live with me, put it on pause, start writing and meditating. Second, the servant. The servant girl or boy, it's about working for money and hoping for miracles. It's about getting a salary, stability, and security. You're willing to serve, give your sexual energy to a boss, to your husband, to your wife, to your children, to your hobby, to your business, to get back a certain locked amount of money, which is always enough for just your basic necessities. So you can't really grow from that, but you can run your car on that. So it's like a 4-cylinder car. It works. You cannot race it, you cannot win some fast races on the road, but it can take you from point A to point B, and you're not in the survival mode. You've got it. You got your roof over the head and the food in your belly. The scenario for women here is they're waiting for a savior. They're waiting for a husband to help them with rent, with money, with the house. They're looking for a good boss so they can make good money. Or for parents, maybe they're 30 and they're still like living on a trust money, or their mama is supporting them. I don't think it's in America as much an issue, but in Russia, in Israel, I think, I don't know how it is in Israel, but the Jewish, Armenian, um, Asians, and Russians, the Slavic nature is like the children is everything for them. So parents feel until they die they have to take care of their children, and so they're enabling their infantile program. And so the servant is also needy, but they're needing for this extra stuff, for the extra security, for vacation, for gifts, and so forth, because the basic necessities they got covered. So take a look where in your life you're a servant. Which area of your life you are serving to get back love, appreciation, money, sex. What are you looking for? What are you serving for? What are you needing? not needing to come fall from the heaven for free, but you're willing to exchange for. Where are you negotiating with the world with? I give you this, you give me that. Where is this happening? It's really important. Nothing is good or bad, but we're just looking into that. Okay, the third level of our evolution with money and sex is Cinderella. So Cinderella is working and praying and trusting herself and trusting in God. She's creating her fairy tale with the help of a fairy godmother, the Lady of Luck, an entrepreneur. So Cinderella usually is the level where there is enough energy, there is enough ambitions, and she usually, opens up her own business, or she's high level of management and so forth, or he or she, doesn't matter. And she's hoping and dreaming to make it a success in her life, and she's working for it. And she gets lucky. If she has a good karma and she has a lot of energy, like, why not? She gets along in life. It's a really good archetype. Here, she wants to marry a prince to become a queen. And he would become a king in the future. Not right now, but in the future. Because the queen needs a king. So the Cinderella meets her prince and they build a big business or a small business. They work for the benefit of many, because this is what a business does. It provides benefits for many. And they do take financial and personal responsibility for their business. They're business builders. The scenario here is work hard and play hard, caring and sharing, and charity, giving rather than needing. So it's a much more powerful position and place to be, and much more exciting game that they're playing. So take a look, and in your life, where are you, Cinderella? Working hard and playing hard, caring and sharing. Which aspects of your life, which area of society that you're sharing and caring? Where are you charitable? Where are you giving rather than receiving? And is the balance of your giving and receiving sustained? So, for example, you're running a good business, but you go through ups and downs. So we'll get back to this. I will tell you a story about this part. Okay, so these archetypes, once you put it on pause, work it out. This is your homework. You're not just listening to a video. We're working. We're starting to heal the money channel. So these archetypes work for the money channel as a monster. This is quite revolutionary, for me, because as I mentioned at the beginning, when I was looking into the concept I and money, relationship with money, first I looked into money as a magnet, an ability to attract. Then I looked into it as a funnel, and so I needed to make it bigger. And what is limiting my money funnel is the limiting beliefs and programs. So I dived in and healed and looked into where am I a child, where I'm not taking responsibility, where my scarcity and limiting programs are. And then I looked into these archetypes, like which areas of my life I am acting out of limitation. So as you can see, it took me a couple years. It was a lot of work to do because I didn't have a teacher. I didn't have a leader to lead me through this by personal example and navigate me through this process. So it's a lot easier for you because I've been there, done it. And so I'm already my beingness activating your codes. It's giving you hope that if I can do it, you can do it. So when I was working with the Russians, I saw the money as a channel. had this vision that I'm walking through this channel, and it's so narrow, and there's a lot of dark spots. It's like, if you're checking your GPS, or like, tracking the road. I don't know how it is in America, but in Bali it's like a lot of traffic, and so you look, it's like it's blue, and then this area is yellow and this area is red, like, it's a spots of deep congestion there. And so I looked into this channel where I'm walking, and it is my money channel, and I could see where it was getting dark and narrow and blocked and so forth. And so I started healing my own money channel. And here, if you recently have seen this movie, it's called Dark Matter. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's so powerful, especially if you are like metaphysically inclined and spiritually inclined, and you have heard about the law of attraction and The Secret, the movie The Secret you watched about manifestation and all of this stuff. It's such a powerful movie. I had my husband watch it with me too. So I think it's like 8 series, and around fourth series, I was blown away because it showed that the subconscious works like a dark, deep corridor, like a tunnel with many, many doors. And the way you make a decision which door to enter, any door you enter, it's a different world with a different scenario, different roles. You are there, but it's a different version of you. And you walk into a different door, and it's like a different life. It's still you, but like everything changes. And the concept there that it's every choice you make changes the trajectory of your life. But in this really powerful movie, the concept is that this man was a super talented scientist, and he could create a really breakthrough, like he's like Elon Musk concept. He can create something so powerful, so revolutionary. And at the same time, he meets the love of his life, and he had to make a choice to go build his career as a scientist and be fulfill his full potential, or to become a married man and take responsibility for his wife and children and household and so forth. And so he chooses being happy as a man and not to fulfill his highest potential as a scientist. And he's a professor at the university. And in his midlife crisis, he meets his friend who actually chose the science, and now he was nominated for his discovery and so forth. And so that leads him to, think about what would have happened if he had taken a different path. And so then in the movie, they're showing a different part of him that actually made this different choice and became serious and didn't build a family but built his career. And now he's like Elon Musk, a multimillionaire, and he has created this machine that allows you to go in any part, explore the other worlds of yourself. And so that's how it looks. And so anyhow, you watch the movie, he got lost and whatever. Now he's trying to get back into the world where he is with his wife and his family. And he keeps trying, and he keeps getting in different realities of himself, where he meets his wife, but now she's married with somebody else, or she doesn't recognize him, or in a life where their son is dead, and all kind of different things. He keeps searching and searching and searching which door, and there are like, millions of possibilities, but he needs to find the right door to come back to where he made the choice to be married and loving. And he's doing this with a woman. So this certain point, the woman, of course, discovers the way. She goes, you are approaching this whole thing wrongly. He goes, you are describing your wife. You're telling she's tall, she has this, how tall she is, how you're describing her physical appearance. And she goes, you have to connect to how she makes you feel. And that feeling will bring you to the right door. That is the key to open up to your reality. And so once he connects to that, how he first met her and their eyes met, in the moment when he felt like she's the love of my life, I want to marry this woman, I want to love her. So when he based himself in these memories, these emotions of love, love unlocked the right door for him and he entered it. So I was like, wow, this is so very, very powerful. That's how I felt and discovered my relationship with money is about a money channel with many, many doors, and which is many, many choices, which depends my one door, the one choice, it depends from my self-worth. Another one, it depends with my relationship with money. Another one, it depends from which archetype is making money. And so, wow, I mean, that was so empowering and beautiful for me. And that's why I am now creating this container for us in a Queen Retreat to work on it. And for those of you that haven't bought the Queen Retreat, I hope that you buy it now and join us. But, this is what I recently heard, that while I and my husband for the last 6 years were working on ourselves and raising our bottom line, in the previous video we talked about the first house, where there is your basic line, your baseline, and your chronic space where you're actually self-actualized right now, and your full potentiality. When we looked into this flyer, this is the thing here, is that imagine a caravan of not elephants, but the camels. There is like 50 of them. The caravan can move with the speed of the slowest camel. So no matter how spread the caravan is, like this, the camels are your sub-personalities, all different parts of you. It's like no matter how far you're in your potentiality. So for example, the superstars, no matter how far they are in their brightness, their total sum total, their point of assembly, their ability to enjoy life, enjoy the money that they make, enjoy the fame that they generate, depends from their slowest animal. So the way it works is like a rubber band. So you stretch it out. You stretch it out, you stretch it, and the higher you go in your potentiality, the brighter you shine, sooner or later, this you have to let it go. And the higher you go, the harder you're gonna fall down, the more it's going to hurt, because you're separating from your base, because your first leader camel is too far away from your most scared inner child, the traumatized, the victim part of you that is going to always pull back and sabotage. Why people make a ton of money and lose everything? Why they become famous and now they are being challenged. Like look at Hollywood. For 20 years they were lying, they were on stage, they were doing this, but it catches up. The karma catches up. I mean, how long can you be stretching the band of luck? Sooner or later, as a ballerina, you have to step back on your feet, on your heels. So here, my husband, we were discussing this, and he gave me an example. He actually gave me this example with the rubber band, and he told to me about the leader of Nirvana, Kurt Cobain, who was at the top of his career, at the top of his fulfillment. I mean, he was the leader. He was living his full potential, having the fame, having the money. What does he does? Shoots in his head, shoot his brains out at a certain point of his life. What does that mean? Is, you know, he raised it high, high, high. Sooner or later, you have to let go, and you have to come down to the darkest point of you, to your own traumatized, victimized self that is deeply lacking love, because you cannot get it from outside. Even if millions of people tell you, I love you, I love you, I love you, they don't love you. They love the energy, and they love how you make them feel. And they love the codes of their own potentiality that you activate in them. But they don't give a fuck about you. You have to care about you. You have to give the fuck about yourself. I'm using on purpose this language to wake you up and activate. You know, it's really important to get down to earth and really look what is my self-worth, what am I deserving within myself, when I'm not comparing myself to any single person but myself. And here, when I was doing the search on the self-worth and the self-esteem and self-studies, I look into these studies, and I don't want to quote these studies for you and so forth, but what I liked there was two major sentences. It's like a powerful exercise that the psychologists have developed to find out, to do the study to measure the self-esteem. So I want you to do this now. I'm going to read it for you, so write it down. And work on this when you have time. I take full responsibility for my life and this archetype that fuels me up to not live in hopes and dreams, but set up proper intention and create and draw to me whatever I truly feel I deserve. So here, on the subject of self-worth and self-esteem, there was a study made. Many studies have been made by psychologists, and I'm not going to talk about it. I will send you this in our Telegram chat, so you can read it for yourself, or the scientific part. What I liked about it, and what I want you to do with your pen and paper, I want you to write down these two questions, and I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. Self-esteem is not an immutable characteristic. Successes or setbacks, both personal and professional, can fuel fluctuations in feeling of self-worth. So on a scale of 1 to 10, to what extent do you agree with this statement? Number 1, I feel that I am a person of worth, at least on an equal basis with others. Okay, write this down. I feel that I am a person of worth, at least on an equal basis with others. And on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you resonate with that? So for me, when I did that, I felt that in my heart chakra, a really powerful 10 came out. So I don't want to influence you. It's not from ego. I did a lot of work on myself. But I'm sharing this with you. I want to connect to whatever number comes out. Maybe it's a 5, a 7, a 2. It doesn't matter what the number is at this point of entrance, because you're working on yourself, right? But I want you to pay attention where in your body you feel that number. Where is your self-worth living? Is it between your legs on the first chakra? Is it in your womb? Is it in your solar plexus? Is it in your head? Is it in your heart? Where is the home for your self-worth? Where do you need to heal? The second question I want you to write down is, I wish I could have more respect for myself. Period. It's not a question, it's a statement. I wish I could have more respect for myself. On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you feel, it stops? Like if it was how you raise the volume, that little piece. So on the 1 to 10, 10 is the highest it's going. It's like, where does it stop? Is it 5? Is it 4? Is it 6? Here, let me do this exercise with you. I wish I could have more respect for myself. Yeah, I'm feeling about a 9 here. It's not a 10. Yeah, I feel that I can really expand in this area. Can respect my talents more, my abilities more. Yeah. Oof. I know I'm in the process of it because the Queen archetype is working really hard. Since she's activated, she's like cracking all the codes, opening up every part of my life. Okay, let me now just tighten it up a little bit. We've been talking for a while. You have been learning for a while, so I want to get back to my notes and tie it all together. So basically, we need money not to fall into the victim archetype. We as women need money for our pleasure so we can recharge ourselves. So we want a man who has money. The man wants a woman who has a lot of sexual energy and can feed and nourish him with that. But the paradox is that the victim archetype drains your energy and confidence and makes you insecure, self-doubting, God-doubting. And therefore, you cannot break out of it and have more money. So you need money to heal your victim archetype, to buy your wholeness retreat. You're going to say, oh, I don't have the money. I want to, but I don't have the money. But then if you don't have the money and then you have your victim archetype, it's going to drain you and you're not going to have the money. So you got to do something about it. Sooner or later, you have to heal your victim archetype. That will step out of the way so you can be in this channel of money that is light and wide and beautiful and powerful, walking in your queen archetype. Because we talked about the 3 different archetypes, beggar, servant, and the Cinderella. So all of those 3 archetypes are part of the victim, you're part of your victim archetype. So this archetype is living in your money channel, creating and generating and making the wrong choices, opening up the wrong doors, creating and generating a different reality in your life that perhaps not really fulfilling your dreams and goals. And so what do you need for that? So I will repeat this. Money is an area of pain and fear, and it is an excellent excuse for not living to your full potential. And let's transform this issue and move on with our life. And to help us transform this issue, we need to heal the victim archetype, which we heal in the wholeness retreat, and we need to activate the queen archetype, because the queen has self-worth, internal locus of control. She doesn't need to be liked by others. She's the queen. This archetype really brought me together all of my sub-personalities, helped heal all parts of me and activate them in this really powerful I am queen archetype. I am the author of my life. I am fully responsible for every choice that I make. how to reach your full potential. Self-actualization represents the pursuit of reaching one's full potential. The concept is rooted in a theory established in 1943 by Abraham Maslow. The psychologist set forth the hierarchy of psychological needs, illustrating an order of human motivation. At the base of Maslow's motivational pyramid lies physiological needs, such as air we breathe and the food we consume. Once those needs are met, it is possible to pursue needs for safety, love, and belonging, and self-worth. So at the very end stands self-worth. So it's a long evolution to come to that, and it's the strongest archetype that we need. The queen archetype is about dignity, self-respect, self-worth. Nobody tells the queen and the king what they're worthy. They define it. They do the wars, they conquer the lands, they make the decisions. They are the adults, they're the leaders in their own life. And what I like, what the Maslow said himself, is self-actualization occurs when the more basic needs are met or in the process of being met, and it becomes possible to strive to add meaning and personal and social fulfillment to existence through creativity, intellectual growth, and social progress. What a man can be, he must be. This need we may call self-actualization. So I really like it. What a man can be, he must be. So for me, it is what a woman can be, she must be. Queen bee. What a woman can be, she must be. Queen bee. Put on that crown. Who can I be in my life? This is about fully activating my full potential, my full potentiality, but having my basics healed, having my victim archetype healed, so that I don't end up as the leader of nirvana, killing my brains, killing myself at the end. Okay, so at the end of this video, I want to share with you, I was working with one of my clients on the money channel, and I told him this. I said, one of the programs about money and self-worth is what your mama put into you, or your father put into you. It's a family program. And so, for example, Donald Trump, when he was young, when he was a child, his mom, every day when he was going to school, she would tell him, Donald, be a leader, be a king. So look at what that program flowered into. Because the program that our parents put in us is like a seed. And that seed can flower or it can die. And so he opened up himself to the full potentiality. He became a really powerful businessman. He went through his ups and downs. I remember the story that he was minus 9 or 7 billion. He was in the minus. And he was sharing this story himself, that he didn't even have the money for a cab. And so he was walking at night, it's 3 a.m. at night in Chicago, to his office to have a conference call with the Japan. So it was like 3 a.m. in America. And they asked him, why would they choose him for the project that he was proposing, since he's in bankruptcy and he is minus 7 or 9 billions. And he said, because I have learned from this experience, I have been able to raise, to reach this level of making this level of money. I have lost, I have learned from my experience, I have corrected my mistakes, and I now know how to do it. I want to, I can, to make it again. And they trusted him and they chose him and they said, yeah, you go for it. Why? Because he has the code of the king. He's a leader. He takes full responsibility for everything. He's not afraid of success. He's not afraid of failure. And he goes on creating and making his dreams a reality. So I was like, this is really powerful. And when we look at his life now, then he became a president, and now he's running for the presidentship again. In fact, it's November 2nd today, so it's like, I think November 5th, we will know who actually wins the race, Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. And I'm not big in politics, and this is not about politics, but I'm willing to make a prediction that Donald Trump will win. I will be very surprised if he doesn't win. And because it doesn't matter, whether he has good politics or not. As I said, I don't understand it, so don't judge me for it if you hate him and whatever. If you disagree with him, I'm sure he's not a saint, and there are some good parts and some bad parts in his. But this man is a family man. He has had many beautiful women in his life, and beauty is great power. He has many lovers in his life, so he has been really fueled up with beautiful, powerful women, which I think it's a plus. And he has many children that are also working and successful and really incredible. I haven't heard that any of his children are in drugs or depressed or something like that. I know Ivanka Trump is a really powerful role model, being a shining bright star, out there. But I may be missing something. I might not know something. So if you know more, I'm just using them as role models and examples. Maybe you know better role models. But I believe that because he has many children and grandchildren and many businesses, he will care about America as his family, that he will protect the country as he has always stand out and protected his businesses and his life and his children. And I feel that he's very powerful with that. As I said, maybe not right in everything. He's not a perfect father. He's not a perfect leader, but he definitely is a very powerful man who is a leader. And I think in these hard times of wars with Putin and Ukraine and Israel and Iran and all of that, in this really difficult time of war all over the world, I would rather see my beloved America have a powerful leader who can stand up to those other men and protect America in the best way that he can. With Kamala Harris, maybe she's a wonderful and beautiful and intelligent and loving woman. I don't know anything about her. But when I listen to her, I feel that she's weak. She is neither potent in her feminine energy, nor she is as strong as an inner man. So I am not trusting her in these difficult times of war and so many challenges in America to make the right decisions to protect it as her own family, to be the queen of the land. I think she could be a good politician and so forth, but I don't feel that she's a queen. So for me, I bet on the king. We'll see what happens in a couple of days. Whatever happens is the best for America, and I bless America and I bless the American president. Whoever the people choose is the right choice. So when we were working with my client, I asked him, what is the program that you feel you're running on? And when he meditated on that, he said, oh my God, my mother always told me, work hard and have your belly full. And so he is an entrepreneur. He has a small business. And he said every time he gets to $300,000, the amount that is enough, to cover his business expenses, his house, his wife, his children. instead of going higher, where we can now go into the pleasure, into enjoyment of life, because all the basic necessities are covered, and fully self-actualize himself as, and enjoy his discovering his full potentiality, he goes, hope, the victim archetype kicks in and he goes down. He will make wrong decisions, he will self-sabotage and get all the way to the bottom where he needs to climb out again. And he has done it so many times that when he discovered me on YouTube, he was like, can you help me heal the money channel? I'm like trusting you. Because for a man, it's the mother figure infuses him with the proper program of what she feels he deserves. And then after the mother is the wife. So if the mother or the wife don't have this wisdom and power and knowledge and love, in a capacity to infuse the man into his leadership position, then maybe they need a private coaching. And so I opened up my heart, connected to him, and help him to heal that, connect to that mother program, and to release it with love. I don't do as Christy Sheldon, cancel, because that didn't work for me. Everything I do, every program, once I find it, it's like once I catch this virus program in my computer system, in my brain, I bring it out to the light. I watch what stands behind it. I uncover the trauma behind it. Like I see the whole scenario behind this program. And by watching it with love and investigating it through love, it dissolves. And I upgrade it into my Queen program. So this is what learning from other women, taking their knowledge and then integrating and myself experiencing, making all my dreams come true. I have created my own codes that work, my own algorithms that work. And I'm super happy that I was able to share with you so much today. I'm sure this is a long video. And I hope that this was super helpful for you. And I hope that you will do this homework, even if not right now, but you will get back to this video, watch it again, and sit down and do your homework. I recommend that you write down the times, from what time to what time you have the exercises, and write this all down and really take a day or two, or as long as you need, to work it through for yourselves. I am inviting you into the Queen Retreat, where we're going to work deeper. So in the Queen Retreat, we're going to go, the Queens already have to do this homework. And now in the retreat, I'm going to bring the big guns. We're going to go really deep, work and heal and trance meditate through and heal the money channel and activate the Queen's Code and connect to our abundance and experience that in a way that we're activating our right and left hemispheres. Because it's only when we're using all of our potentiality, the feminine brain and the masculine brain, when we're feeling, when we're becoming aware, and then we're feeling and we're charging it all with energy. And it's done in this really powerful quantum field of love, wisdom, power, and support. I feel that this is where the garden of your seeds of your full potentiality is going to bloom and blossom. And I also have realized today that I think in December, I am going to invite you all on Healing Your Money channel. For those that are not in the Queen Retreat, you can purchase our Temple of Love membership, buy at least like 3 sessions, because it's a long journey. And we're going to work with you there on your money channel deeper. If what I shared with you today for free, if you do this work and you feel how this is working for you, like you will feel the wisdom behind everything I shared with you, I'm inviting you to actually dive into it and really heal your money channel and activate your wealth consciousness. Activate your Queen of Abundance codes. So for everyone who is in our Queen Retreat, everybody who buys it this year till December, I am gifting you the Temple of Love, a 1-year membership, which normally costs $1,000. So for you queens, not only will work it out in our Queen Retreat, but you will be able to work it with me again in December. We're going to go deeper into the money channel. I'm going to do the 3 powerful sessions for everyone who joins. And for you people, it's $100 a session for the Temple of Love. And so go buy 1 or 3 right away. It's up to you. You can buy 1 at a time. And we're going to work actually on the money monster and the money honey, but in my way. We're going to activate the Queen of Abundance and heal the wealth, your relationship with wealth. So, but for the queens, it's for free because you deserve it. You invest into yourself and you get the best. It's all about self-worth. So my queen is saying goodbye to you for now. Thank you for this, being with me for so long, for this long and beautiful journey. I am looking forward to your likes, to your appreciation, and to your comments. Be generous. Share with me what you feel. If you want me to continue to be so generous with you in the school and share for free all this powerful work, and it's like a seminar you went through, it's like a workshop you went through, at least give your love and gratitude underneath. I deserve this. And do join us in the Wholeness Retreat and in the Queen Retreat because you deserve it. You deserve the best. Much love to you and abundance.